Sakina is out in Gauteng in Johannesburg at the Nelson Mandela Foundation as it marks 23 years of existence today. Founded by the former statesman in 1999, the Nelson Mandela Foundation has in its custody an archive of the life and times of Nelson Mandela, which includes his works and writings. The collections include the handwritten papers, official records and unique artifacts from the personal archive of Nelson Mandela, in addition to records from the Office of Nelson Mandela after his retirement as President of South Africa back in 1999. For some more on this, let's now catch up again with Sakina. Very good morning to you again, SK. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been basking in the glory, of the nostalgia of Nelson Mandela. Really, really interesting stuff coming out of the foundation. Over to you.
Indeed, Sims, and it really is just such an honor and a pleasure to walk through. And as you rightly point out, the archives, because in as much as it is about memory, as we saw in the exhibition center that we came from, it's about the exhibitions and making sure that we continue to dialogue and walk our path, but it's also about the archives, Madiba's personal archives. And boy, I feel like a kid in a candy store down here. There is so much to see. And of course, we're going to try and show you a bit more of that. We are now in the vault. So when I say we're in the vault, you can imagine what is to come. And I'm still with Silo Atang, who's of course the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation. And Silo, coming in here, the first thing that catches your eye, the greatest, with his hero, Madiba and Muhammad Ali.
Yeah, they had such a special relationship, SK. So we believe that if Madiba had any hero, someone that he admired deeply and dearly, it was Muhammad Ali. Zelda used to tell us how Madiba would behave almost like a kid himself in the presence of Muhammad Ali, because he was meeting his hero. And that piece is one that we got from Dateselo Moloko, who purchased it for the NMF to be able to, down the line, auction off. So there are pieces that we can auction off, there are pieces we cannot even touch. So if I give you an example, this is a piece from Arthur Goldreich. The condition for this piece is, should we ever be in financial trouble, we can never sell this. We must then hand it over to government. So each piece has its own conditions under which we can keep it at the foundation. And of course, like that is a piece from Bob De Niro, Robert De Niro's father, who gave this to Madiba as a gift for one of his birthdays. And we also have sporting ones. Like I know you and sport.
I think I'm in the sporting rack here.
Side.
Yeah.
On this side.
On that side.
Yeah. So if you pull that, so that's a special moment for us. Obviously, when we had the World Cup and with our captain Lucas Radebe, and of course even with the Cricket World Cup. That's what Madiba then would have gotten from them. In there, we then find the Rugby World Cup. So it's stuff like those that we have that are in display here.
Before we go there, I also saw some nice cartoons.
Oh yes.
Over the years, you can imagine.
Yeah, these cartoons come from the cartoonists who then gave the originals to Madiba, and that's an interesting one in Afrikaans, where a child is asking, "Who's the old man with David Beckham?" And there's the opposite version of Madiba with the Queen, where the child asks, "Who's the old lady with Nelson Mandela?" And again, it's the cartoonists playing with Madiba. And of course, there's parts of our history about AIDS, the time of HIV/AIDS, and the funny ones about Madiba not sure what to wear for his birthday. So yeah, that's the stuff that's the stuff we find where he's then it's trying to then give tell a story about Madiba through cartoons.
Okay, so we move on. And of course, over the years, so many honors bestowed upon the great Nelson Mandela?
So here you find a whole lot of awards that Madiba got from countries. I mean, look at this one, for example. It comes from Botswana. It's the Presidential Order of Botswana to Madiba. You have this, I think you should be presenting.
Oh, yeah, I can present it posthumously again. Die Suid-Afrikaanse Akademie vir Wetenskap en Kuns. Hiermee word verklaar dat die ere-lidmaatskap van die Suid-Afrikaanse Akademie in 209 toegeken is aan oud-president Nelson R. Mandela.
And there it shows you the range of stuff we have. We have from Asia and Australia. That's from the UAE, for example, and an award that was given to Madiba, an honor that was given to Madiba from the UAE. By the way, the UAE government is the one that helped us do this work. So for us to be able to revamp this space. So and then in Europe, similarly, you have honors that he got from France, from the French government, which gave him this honor, and also the Global Education Award. These are awards that Madiba would have gotten from different universities and different governments as he was trying to build a country of our dreams. Then you go to the Americas. So this is the section for the Americas, for example. So that's the stuff that you then find in the archive. That's from Atlanta, Georgia.
From the Alabama Agriculture and Mechanical University in Huntsville.
Yeah, so that's what you then find on the. And again, you think of a country, most probably Madiba has an honor from there.
And there are thousands more from all sorts of universities, institutions of higher learning, just all sorts of societies. And then you see this, and immediately you know we're going to get into some very interesting stuff now. But let's take it here to the end and have a look.
And in here we have, maybe I should, because I know you and the love of sport. So this is that Lennox Lewis Rahman fight, and that's the glove we got from that fight.
Whose glove was this? Was this Lewis's?
It's the two of them who signed
Both of them signed it. Okay.
In 2001, and of course.
Oh, the one.
The one you said you worked very hard for.
I worked very hard for this honor. The World Cup.
This is a replica of the World Cup in 2010. So when Sepp Blatter came to present the trophy, the official trophy to the country, he then left this piece for Madiba. And it was a replica for Madiba to then be able to have permanently in the collection. And you can see
it's heavy.
It's very heavy, and you can see there it's written FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
In there you find the NBA is also there, because the NBA used to visit Madiba every year on year. They would visit Madiba. The executive of NBA would be here. People like Todd would be visiting Nelson Mandela with the top players who would then be here.
And it's autographed.
It's autographed. So it's that's the kind of stuff that we have in the collection. That's also autographed.
I'm trying to read some of those names. I'm failing, and I don't think it's my fault.
And then you have a beauty also here in the ball that we got from Tate Tokyo Sohwale, who donated it to the NMF. But it's a ball that was also from FIFA that was signed by Madiba. So
Great stuff.
So that's the kind of different stuff that we have. Mind you, this is important for us to note, people like Aaron Mokoena Foundation also came and presented to Madiba.
Wow.
Former captain.
And as you can see, there's so much going on here, so many boxes and so much more that we are going to see as we walk through, just to give you a sense of, as I said, this veritable treasure trove that we are in right now.
Yeah, so if we give that example of university awards that Madiba got, Madiba has over 100 that comes from Morgan State University, that you have, and of course, with next to it, you then find sporting codes that then would give him all that the awards that he got. Here you find stuff from Jakarta, for example. That's from Jakarta. Freedoms of the city, different cities that gave him different honors. The rugby world. That's again one of the ones that you claim to have worked very hard for.
I worked very hard for these.
So that's the rugby world with then honored Madiba. But again, it just gives you the sense of range of what's there. I think we should now go to this side. My colleague Vern Harris says, if this is holy of holies, because this is where you find Madiba's private stuff.
So this is holy ground.
This is holy ground. So let's start here. So you have, when President Obama became president, was inaugurated as president of the US, there was this special note that was then presented to Madiba as a gift to Madiba in 2009. As you know, that President Obama used to say that if there's one person that he really honored, it was Madiba. Here you have the Nobel Peace Prize.
The real thing.
The real deal. So that's the Nobel Peace Prize. And the certificate that goes with it.
Oh wow!
Now this was presented to Madiba and F.W. de Klerk in 1993 for the efforts they were making to build South Africa that's peaceful. And this is one of the pieces that we have that occupies a private place, and it's permanently in a safe. So when people come to the foundation, they will then be upstairs where they can enjoy a replica upstairs. So don't expect to then come down.
This is the real thing.
That's the real deal.
I tell you. We're just about running out of time for this segment, but like I'm looking at all of these shiny things and I see Kenna.
Now that was Madiba's favorite coffee while he was in prison, and Jack Swart, who was Madiba's prison warder for this last year in Victor Verster, says that he took this empty tin and he prepared bread for Madiba in it. So he prepared dough and baked bread for Madiba in that. So maybe before we go, can I read from a letter?
Okay, just one letter, and these are the actual letters that are contained in these boxes. But of course, Silo, because of the fragile nature of them, because these are the actual letters, you have made photocopies of it, which we can then handle. But the actual letters are in there. As so we said, this is holy.
So 2 notebooks that were presented to Madiba. The story behind them is that Donald Card, who was a security policeman, was meant to decode the letters, and he says that they never claimed them back. And he then thought they would be valuable one day, and he came and presented them to Madiba. And the center of memory was actually because of these 2 that Madiba said, these 2 contain history from 2 old men that can help build a country of our country through understanding our history. So these letters are letters that we have reproduced in a book that's titled Nelson Mandela's Prison Letters. Remember, he said something about when you speak to someone in their language, you then touch their heart. There is Madiba writing, "Khaitsedi ya ka ya ratehang," and that letter was addressed to Me Lillian Ngoyi. So, but I want to read this because I think it's important for our nation to hear what Madiba thought about some of the things that was happening in our country. If you allow me, so he says, he starts off with the education of his children, and he says, "I was happy to learn that Zeni can cook chips, rice, meat, and many other things. I'm looking forward to the day when I'll be able to enjoy all that she cooks. Zinzi says her heart is sore because I'm not at home and wants to know when I will come back. I do not know, my darlings, when I will return. You'll remember that in the letter I wrote in 1966, I told you that a white judge had said I should stay in jail for the rest of my life. It may be long before I come back. It may be soon. Nobody knows when it will be. Not even the judge who said I should be kept here. But I'm certain that one day I'll be back at home to live in happiness with you until the end of my days. Do not worry about me now. I'm happy, well, full of strength and hope. The only thing I long for is you. But whenever I feel lonely, I look at your photo, which is always in front of me. I want to emphasize this line where he says, do not worry about me now. I'm happy, well, full of strength and hope. The letter was written on the 4th of February 1969. Madiba says he was happy, well, full of strength and hope. He only has served 7 years in prison. He still had 20 more years to go. If he didn't lose hope, who are we to do so?
Oh, that is absolutely profound. And these letters, of course, as we'd indicated, have been published in a book. And these are copies of the actual letters which are contained here in this holy grail of rooms. And again, more
pieces. That's
more loot.
Diego Maradona. And then one that has Madiba's prison number, 46664, which means prisoner number 466 in 1964, signed by Pelé and Madiba. And then
these are priceless, of course.
Of course, I know what you are waiting for. The one that breaks your heart. So and then you have it. That's from Kaizer Chiefs. The one that always just breaks your heart every now and then.
You just had to go there. You couldn't resist. And there's Bafana as well. A few of them.
Yeah.
So
and then maybe this. That's the shirt from the Rugby World Cup.
And this was that World Cup in 1995.
Yeah.
And this was Francois Pina's actual jersey.
Pina's actual jersey.
Yeah.
So we washed it off the sweat.
There you can see. So, from the archives, as you can see, having a great old time. So we're going to hand you back to studio, and in the final leg, we'll say goodbye to you from Madiba's office, where he last sat. That's where we'll be coming to you from. So from the vault, from this holy room, it's back to studio.